Look around you. Everyone around you constantly is consumed by technology, their phones or computers. If you walk down a busy street, you will constantly just see people on their phones being consumed. You constantly see people eating the most unholy, unhuman, lab-made goblin food, like McDonald's. People are spending far more time indoors and spend far more time connecting to their friends through social media. You probably know 1,000 people like this, and you might be one of them. Over the last 100 years, humans have been getting less and less natural and more unnatural. And in a way, this is people's choice. You don't have to follow the herd and just do what everyone else does, but 99.9% of people do. And so we end up with basically just robots living through life, and no one feels like they have any purpose. This is just two basic things. It's just doing too many unnatural things and not enough natural things. We don't even have a balance anymore. And this leads people to feeling very weird. I don't know how to explain it, but you just don't feel like you're part of the earth. You feel like you're a different creature from other animals. But you gotta realize, we are just another animal. And we keep straying further and further away from having that connection with the earth and nature. Thousands of years ago, humans hunted to survive. Every day they had a purpose. Every day they had missions to complete. There was always a greater purpose for us. But now that we have fallen into this comfortability, it's just, we've become lazy, we've become complacent, we've become very unnatural. If you're like me, then you probably want to tap into this natural state of being more, and I've got a few things that you can do to try regain your naturalness. I'm going to list a few things that we can do to try regain that. Number one is very obvious. It's just being in nature. So many big cities now where most of the people live aren't in nature, especially in these Western countries. Everything is very dull. And this even shows in that really popular song, I forget what it's called, but it says, now you're in New York, concrete jungle, whatever, and a concrete jungle? That just sounds disturbing. I don't know, that just feels very wrong and unnatural to be surrounded by concrete. And that's what it is. It's just these very tall buildings, dull colors, no grass. It's just a very unnatural place to be. And this is just disconnecting us from that natural feeling. And that's why so many people get such fulfillment when they go on hikes or just walks through nature and forests. Is because it just feels right. Number two is exercise. So many people these days don't exercise. It's literally insane. And humans are built to exercise. We were meant to be doing this every single day for multiple hours a day. So many people just don't have this in their life. And it doesn't even have to be a certain type of exercise. But the most natural is cardio. It's getting your blood running. It's the feeling of, the hunt. It's what we did to find food. It's what we did to hunt animals, was just run for a very long period of time. And so many people just don't even do this. They don't even add this into their daily routine, their weekly routine. Some people don't do this at all. And just like being in nature, after we do the exercise, even though it may be hard in the moment, we do get a fulfillment from it. And we know that, this was a good use of our time. And if we keep doing this, then it just makes us more healthy overall. I mean, there's a reason why exercise makes us healthy, right? It is what we had to do to survive. Number three is human connection. And I don't mean social media. This is a very fake human connection. I'm meaning in contact human connection with your family and friends, and even meeting new people. In today's world, there's unprecedented amount of social anxiety. People don't like socializing. But the thing is, this is what they need. People need to get over this and start socializing. Humans are social animals. We survived in groups. And when this is getting taken away from us, there's just something missing there. And people try to substitute it with this fake social media, and they have online friends. These people aren't your friends. You need to have real human-to-human contact daily. This gives you a sense of happiness. It gives you a sense of belonging. It lets you express your love and your kindness, and in return you get that back. So many people just have really bad social skills and don't have any friends. And this is something that we have to get over. A book that will probably help with this is How to Win Friends and Influence People. People probably think it's weird that you might want to read about making friends and socializing, but this is one of the most key parts of life, and if you're having trouble with it, then why not get as much information and use to get this back in your life? Now, my next point helps a lot with human connection, which is being present, being in the moment. When we did live, like animals, like humans are supposed to, we were always in the moment. We were always doing something. And this is just something that people are really bad at now. Like, all the things that people are doing now are just completely the opposite of how we should be. And being present is no exception. Now, if you're watching, you probably already know how to be more present is meditate. You have to meditate every day consistently to gain this, and presence helps so much with socializing. It's probably one of the number one things that will help you with that. And being present, doing anything. It could just be eating, being present while eating, being present while exercising, being present while in the shower, I don't know, anything. Just being present and not letting your thoughts control you and actually being in the moment. This is something that people miss out on so much. Most people live 99% of their lives in thought, in non-presence. And thousands of years ago, this was something that was just natural to us to always be focused on what's happening in the now. And we need to regain this. Next thing is an unnatural diet. Everyone watching this video probably has an unnatural diet. This is something that majority of the world doesn't get right. And that is eating foods that we are supposed to, not eating this processed, lab-made, like, food that is designed to make you addicted to it. Food that is high in sugars. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go, full raw diet, just only, hunted food, only gathering your food. It's just meaning trying to stay the best you can away from processed foods. And I don't know about you, but when I think about this actually does get me mad, is that there are thousands of companies that make food specifically to get you addicted to it. They are literally using your mind and your biology against you. It's literally insane. And it is very hard for people to stick to a healthy diet, but this is something that we need for our health and for anything in life. This just affects everything in your life, from your sleep to your energy to your brain power. Literally everything is affected by your diet. And if you are only eating these, fast food, junk food, very sugary foods, this is going to be a huge detriment to, again, every facet of your life. Another thing is water. A lot of people do not drink nearly enough water. I recommend having at least 3 liters or more per day. And a lot of people are dehydrated. A lot of people don't drink enough water. This will especially help when you're exercising. You need to be obviously hydrated during that. So yes, we need to be drinking enough water. I would say at minimum, as I said, 3 liters per day, and eating a relatively healthy diet. Just try your best to stick to this. Maybe start with eliminating a few things that you can and work your way up to your main goal, which should be, eliminating 99% of processed foods. And don't be afraid to, indulge every so often. This doesn't mean, making your life revolve around eating healthy. It just means being conscious of it, and don't just sit by yourself eating chocolate and lollies and cake. But, if you're going out with friends, or if maybe it's your birthday, don't be afraid to indulge a little bit. That's completely fine. Just don't make this a habit. Next thing I want to talk about is spending time thinking. This is something that not a lot of people do properly. And like I said before, we're always stuck in thought, but this isn't necessarily what I mean by spending time thinking, having thinking time. What I mean by this is, in your spare time, instead of blocking it out with media constantly, allow yourself just to sit and observe your thoughts. A lot of people, as soon as they have spare time, as soon as they're not getting stimulated by something, they will try find the next available thing to do so. They'll be playing a game, and in between rounds they will quickly pick up their phone just to keep letting their mind get washed away with this. And basically how you think productively is just turning off all your screens, turning off everything, sitting by yourself in, a quiet place that won't have many distractions, and let your mind work. This is all that it takes. It's really easy. It's very easy. You just have to do nothing. This is how the greatest thinkers of all time, the greatest philosophers were through thinking time, spending hours just thinking. And this is something that maybe you'll need time to train up to through meditation, to be able to let yourself be able to just sit by yourself. Because this can be a real challenge for some people, is sitting down for, at minimum half an hour a day and just thinking, coming up with ideas, or maybe just thinking about how to solve problems, anything that it can be. Just letting your mind work naturally and healthily. Last thing I want to talk about is people not following the natural human desires. And no, I don't mean, reproducing every single day. I don't mean following your instincts in terms of eating. That's just how you, again, fall into the trap of eating lots of sugary foods. But I mean the healthy desires that make us feel human, that make us us. And this is things such as exploring your curiosity, finding a purpose or a mission, and then executing that, and having respect, having esteem for yourself. We'll start with the first thing, which is curiosity. A lot of people are curious about so many things. They want to do a lot of things, but they never follow up on these things. This is just crushing your desire to explore. It's a very natural thing to want to know more, to explore new territory, to do more things. And a lot of people will just stop at the thought of wanting to. This kind of ties into the mission, is wanting to complete your curiosity, to explore it. And the next thing, like I said, was purpose and mission. As humans, we used to always have one mission on mind, and all we would focus on is completing that mission, that purpose. But now, most of us don't even have goals. Most of us don't even have a life purpose. And so how are we supposed to complete any missions or goals if we don't even have any? And these can be, small things. They don't have to be massive, world-changing goals or purposes. They could just be things like improving your social life, or being more healthy, or just being a nicer person towards people. And, you do want to have big goals in life as well, but not everything has to be massive goal that you spend your whole life working towards. And just this, depletion of goal setting and goal completing is just another thing that takes away from our naturalness. And the last thing is self-respect and esteem. So many people don't even have the courtesy to themselves, and they do this disservice of not gaining respect for themselves and gaining respect from others. This is something that a lot of people crave. Most people, probably everyone, wants to feel important, wants to have respect. But people won't even take the time that it takes to work on it and gain the respect. And this just makes us feel very unimportant. And this leads to, a lot of mental health issues. There's a lot of ways you can do this, but the overall goal is just to have self-respect and gain the respect from others. This is something that's, a desire for humans, basically every single one. Like I said, we want to have that importance, that, respect from other people. And most of us won't take the time to build what it takes to do that. If we don't take the time to do it, then we don't deserve it. And that leads us, again, to feeling more unnatural. I don't want this video to go on too long, so I'm going to stop it here. Those are just some things that I was thinking of that a lot of people don't do, and this leads to them feeling more unnatural and less human. So hopefully any of this helped, and yeah, thanks.
Goodbye.